All right, back at it again. All right, seeing a place to be. Ric Serritella here on this Sunday, October 12th, 2025. It's our Nor'easter edition of the All Access Football Daily Show, broadcasting live from the legendary Jersey Shore into your viewing monitor at home for the world famous All Access Football. We're here live each and every day, 10 a.m. Eastern. Rain, sleet, hail, snow. Did I also mention Nor'easters? We're buckled up and hunkered down here at the Jersey Shore and waiting to see what the storm brings in. So bear with us. We got a London game going on between the Jets and the Broncos. It's a field goal affair, 6-3 right now. Denver currently driving, and it's been a field goal affair with the Jets notching their first turnover of the season. How about that with the Aaron Glenn-led Jets? Now, I did get the official pick on the record yesterday's show with Russ Landy. For the record, I have Denver covering 30-16, and they are laying 6.5. And that's what we do here on the NFL Pick'em Show. We go around the league, give you the news and notes that you need to know. And more importantly, we try to give you winners. We are after our Thursday night football affair where we had the Philadelphia Eagles. They ran into the New York Giants and the frat boys in Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. We are now 44-36 against the spread, holding strong 8 games above 500. So we'll try to bounce back from our week last week, 6-8 by far our worst week. And the NFL is getting to that point of the calendar where, you know, we got a little bit of a feel for the teams, but then we have some surprises each and every week. So let's get into the action. Of course, Philadelphia now 4-2 with the Giants 2-4. And you know, the Giants are probably watching this London game as we speak because they will travel to Mile High and take on the Denver Broncos. We are going to find out how real the New York Giants are with Jackson Dart because they're at Denver and then they come back at Philly back-to-back after defeating Philly. So can they keep that momentum? We shall see. But again, 44-36, we got Denver in this London affair. You know, Bo Nix, his third international game, all in London. So we'll see if he has a little home field comfort there. Of course, the Jets are 2-2 all time in international games, 1-2 in London. And we'll keep you monitored and posted. I had Denver coming out. I thought they would go away with this game. I had them predicted 30-16. But, you know, these London games, these international affairs, these primetime games are – the NFL is really unpredictable. So let's get into the 1 o'clock slate, shall we? All right, we're going to start off in the league where they play or pay. Little NFL pick'em around the league, week 6 edition with Ric Serritella on the All Access Football Daily Show. Thanks for bearing with us in the Nor'easter edition. I'm going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys, 2-1 on the season, heading into Carolina, who's 2-3. Chuba Hubbard's going to miss this one once again. You saw Rico Dowdle, 206 rushing yards a week ago. He's going to face off against his former team in the Dallas Cowboys. Carolina coming off a 17-point deficit to win last week, matching their biggest comeback in team history. They can win first 3 home games for the first time since 2018, those Carolina Panthers. But you know what? I got to give Dallas some credit here. I didn't have high expectations coming into the season. They've held their ground, so to speak, and they're competitive. They can put points on the board, even with the recent injuries and CeeDee Lamb not playing. George Pickens has picked up his game in a big way. Jake Ferguson has become a playmaking tight end in that offense, and Javonte Williams has had somewhat of a resurrection with 447 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. How about the rookie Tedatora McMillan with 351 receiving yards, still searching for his first touchdown there. You know, these Panthers, I'm still not buying, right? I'm going to go Cowboys 29-24 in this one. They're favored by 2.5 on the road. I think they eke this one out in Carolina. Once again, Cowboys by 5, 29-24 for the first Sunday official pick. We're on the 1 o'clock docket, moving and grooving here on the Nor'easter edition. Los Angeles Chargers, 3-2, started off. They were hot. And then the injury bug bit. They got bit by Rashawn Slater. They got bit by Joe Alt. They got bit by Najee Harris. They got bit by Khalil Mack. They got bit by Omarion Hampton. And word on the street is the Chargers are shopping around for a running back. Most notably, Alvin Kamara. We'll get to him later on in the show. Possibly someone in action right now in Breece Hall. And it looks like the Broncos just scored a touchdown to go up 9-6 with the pending extra points. And we'll keep you posted there. So, could Breece Hall, who's in action right now, wind up with the Chargers? Could Derrick Henry possibly, with another Harbaugh brothers trade, wind up with the Chargers? And Knicks finding the corner of the end zone, number 45 on your play card there, trying to balance double duty hosties. Back to the Chargers, who will rely upon Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal today in the backfield. Of course, Miami 1-4, but this is team, I give Miami credit for this at least. They don't give up. They've been competitive. The win-loss record isn't what Mike McDaniel would like it to be, nor Stephen Ross, and we mentioned he could be kicking the tires on Rex Ryan should he pull the trigger on Mikey McDaniels there. But the Chargers, surprisingly, traveling across the country, coming at 3.5-point favorites. I tell you what, I think this is going to be close. Not a big fan of what Tua is doing on or off the field, but there's been moments, right, where the Dolphins offense could get going. I'm still waiting for the rookie Gordon to pick up with A-Chain in the backfield. Of course, Tyreek is out. Jaden Waddle is now elevated. And Darren Waller, who came back with the vengeance, but he's been banged up a little bit. We'll see his status for the game. You know, this is a tough one because the hook might hurt you. I don't feel good about it, but I like the Chargers to win 23-20. Give me the 3.5 with the Dolphins. All right. New England Patriots, 3-2. Traveling to the Saints, 1-4, which is not an easy place to play. And this Spencer Rattler is completing 67% of his passes, just under 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. And I mentioned Alvin Kamara, but to my understanding, with the people who are in the know, they tell me Alvin Kamara is not going to go anywhere. And he is considered to be one of the all-time greats. In fact, Alvin Kamara, don't laugh, he may even have a statue in front of this Superdome one day. That's how much he's loved and adored in New Orleans. I do not see them dealing Alvin Kamara, who has 283 rushing, 77 receiving on the season. How about Rashid Shaheed heating up, providing that big play threat for Rattler downfield? Don't sleep on the Saints. They've been in ball games, and you know the Giants thought they were going to go down there and run over New Orleans. New Orleans came through with the victory there. New England 3-2. You know, this is a tough ball club too. I like what Mike Vrabel's doing. Drake May has really elevated his profile this season. He's got nearly 1,300 passing yards, just 2 interceptions and 7 touchdowns to show for it. Now, Travion Henderson, the rookie out of Ohio State, is going to be thrust into the spotlight because Antonio Gibson is done for the year. I think Henderson can give this offense a boost, just like Kayshon Boutte did a week ago. He made some big catches. He's got a touchdown in 2 of his past 3 games. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be another close matchup, the 3.5 on the road. New England going into New Orleans. I like the Patriots to cover this one, but closely. 25-21. Give me the Pats on the road in a tough one. All right. Still on the 1 o'clock games, the Los Angeles Rams, 3-2, traveling to the Baltimore Ravens, whose season is on the rails, 1-4. Hard to believe. Rams come in as a 6.5-point favorite in this one. Of course, Lamar Jackson out. In steps Cooper Rush once again. Wasn't so good last week. Zay Jones, the wide receiver, also questionable. You know, the Rams are a very complete team despite the 3-2 record. They've been battle-tested, and they've faced some tough matchups. And Puka Nacua, he's trying to chase 2,000. He's got 588 receiving yards and a pair of touchdowns. Devontae Adams, not too shabby in the Robin role, 357 for 3. Stafford, as long as he stays upright, he stays efficient. 1,500 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Pretty remarkable for him. And I'll tell you what, Baltimore is banged up. Roquan Smith also out. They've got a slew of injuries, the Ravens do. 6.5 is scary, but I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. 26-17 to cover the 6.5 with the Rams over the Ravens. All right, a couple more 1 o'clock games to get to here. We've got the Cleveland Browns, 1-4, traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming off the bye week, 3-1. Pittsburgh favored 6.5 in this one, and Jersey Joe Flacco is going to come in after 3 days on the job. He'll get the start for the Bengals in this affair. They're predicting a low-scoring matchup, over-under set at 38.5. Now, I'm sorry, Dillon Gabriel for the Browns steps in. The Browns, the Bengals, they're both pretty bad. Bear with me, folks. The Browns, led by rookie Dillon Gabriel. I have not got confirmation who will be the backup today. Will it be Shedeur Sanders? Will it be Bailey Zapp? We shall see. I like what I've seen from Quinshon Judkins, the rookie there. Myles Garrett does Myles Garrett things. 4 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss. Cleveland has their defense has shown spurts. Now, I didn't see Dillon Gabriel showing me like, hey, buckle up, let me carry you down the field. He's more of a dinker and a dunker and a game manager. And Rodgers can still make big plays as long as you have DK Metcalf, who does have 3 touchdowns on the season. You've seen Kenneth Gainwell sprinkled into the backfield with Jalen Warren there. And the Steelers are good for a big play or two. They still got TJ Watt, Patrick Queen. Peyton Wilson needs to step his game up. He had a career high 13 tackles, including 2 tackles for a loss a week ago. Nick Herbig also stepping up for that Steelers defense. I like Pittsburgh coming off the bye against a rookie quarterback. I think they'll control the most of this game, and it'll be close, but Pittsburgh's going to cover. Give me the Steelers 24-17 to cover that 6.5 over the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh at home. All right, Arizona Cardinals 2-3 at the Indianapolis Colts 4-1. The Colts are really a powerhouse in the NFL. I hate to tell you, I'm buying and believing in Indianapolis, Indiana Jones, the whole deal. Now, it sounds like Kyler Murray will be out in this matchup, so Jacoby Brissett making his Cardinals starting debut. Dusting off the mothballs, that Jacoby Brissett. And he'll be running the ball. He's actually, outside of Jalen Hurts, possibly the best short yardage running quarterback in the National Football League. In fact, 50% of his career rushes have gone for a touchdown or a first down. Jacoby Brissett, you might see some tush push there, and that might be a good prop bet there if you want to sneak in a Jacoby Brissett score. Now, in terms of stacking up against Indiana Jones, Jonathan Taylor, the J Train, Tyler Warren, this is a high-powered offense, playmaking defense, led by Cam Bynum. Zaire Franklin's a stud. DeForest Buckner up middle. I mean, every level of the Colts defense have studs. I think this one could get ugly for the Cardinals. Even if Murray did play, he'll be limited. I think the Colts get out early and put up another 40-burger. How about that? Give me Indiana Jones, 41-13, and the Colts, the stampede the Cardinals. 41-13. It's a 40-burger once again for Indy. You feel me? All right, one more on the 1 o'clock docket. Seattle Seahawks 3-2, traveling into the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 4-1, riding high, feeling good, feeling real good, those Jacksonville Jaguars. And I like what I've seen from Travis Hunter. It might not show up in the box score. You might not see it on the stat sheet, but his presence both on the offensive side and defensive side, you saw him make that vertical catch downfield a week ago. That's what he brings, big plays and lockdown ability. All right, Trevor Lawrence, it's been up and down for him this season, but he finds a way to get the job done. You saw the razzle-dazzle, fall down, pick me up, wipe the dirt off my shoulder, touchdown to beat the Chiefs a week ago. And Sam Darnold, he's been pretty good there for the Seahawks, who have surprised some folks at 3-2. Jackson Smith-Njigba, I mean, he's really elevated himself into a top-shelf wide receiver with 534 receiving yards, a pair of touchdowns, becoming Darnold's go-to target. You like the Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet 1-2 punch, and Cooper Kupp still has a half a tank left in the gas to give you something. This is a tough one. The Seahawks favored on the road, traveling cross-country, 1.5, but I'm a believer down there. Give me Duval. Jaguars in the slight upset victory, 29-27. I got Jacksonville going down to the wire here. All right. That is the end of the 1 o'clock docket. We're doing good. We're moving and grooving. We got a great lineup going on the 4 o'clock slate. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Broncos up 10-6 into London. Hey, don't go anywhere. Check out this commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break it down, chop it up. All Access Football Nor'easter edition here on October 12th, 2025. It's our 42nd edition of the All Access Football Daily Show.
Hey, RIC in a place to be. Ric Serritella checking in from the legendary Jersey Shore for the world-famous All Access Football, and you're tuned in to the All Access Football Daily Show, our newest venture here at the world-famous All Access Football, read by all 32 NFL teams and 50,000 subscribers from around the world. And I've been blessed and fortunate enough to work in this great game of football for the past 2 decades. It's our 24th season of providing you independent analysis when it comes to the NFL draft and everything pigskin, whether it's the NFL, college football, NFL draft, CFL, UFL. We'll be with you each step of the way, especially for draft season when we really get into high mode. Of course, it's all brought to you by the 2026 NFL Draft Bible, published in April, featuring over 500 in-depth scouting reports with our boots-on-the-ground analysis. We'll be on location at the All-Star Games, the NFL Scouting Combine, the Pro Day circuit, counting you down to that 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh. And be sure you check us out over at allaccessfootball.com. We've got a great promo discount for you listeners at home. If you enter our promo code RICVIP, you'll get a 30% discount off of all of our premium content. You'll unlock the magic. Get our NFL Draft Insider Reports, Scouting Notebook, of course, the World Football All Access Football Report published on Wednesday. It's your new home for real football talk. So follow along, give us a shout. We hope you're enjoying the show. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X, please give it a like, a share, a subscribe, and we'll be with you each and every day here, 7 days a week, live, 10 a.m. Eastern, no days off. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, the show must go on. For Ric Serritella and the All Access Football Daily Show, keep it locked, everybody.
All right, we're back at it again. RIC in a place to be. Ric Serritella with your NFL Week 6 Pick'em edition, Nor'easter style here at the Jersey Shore, broadcasting live around the universe over at allaccessfootball.com. Get down on it. It's always draft season. What a day in college football. We'll get to that more on tomorrow's show because we're live 7 days a week, 10 a.m. Eastern. It is your home for real football talk, and we're moving and grooving during this London game. Denver up to 10-6. We just got through the 1 o'clock docket. 44-36 against the spread on the season. We're going to run through these 4 p.m. games and do it well, do it the best we can. So let's get into it. The 4 o'clock action in the National Football League, the league where they play for pay. Oh, baby. And this 4 o'clock docket is locked and loaded. We got some news and notes to bring you. Let's start off with the Cincinnati Bengals, shall we? 2-3. Looking for an identity with Jake Browning? Nope. Check that. In comes Joe Flacco. We mentioned it earlier. Just 3 days to learn that playbook. They're trying to get a heartbeat here, the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase is questionable for this one. Keep an eye on that one. And Flacco did start 4 games for the Browns. It wasn't pretty, was it? We'll see if he can fare better against the Packers, who are 2-1-1, and come in with a gaudy 13.5-point spread in this one. Micah Parsons licking his chops at the statuesque Flacco in the pocket. And I'll tell you, Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, man, they're going to be coming at Joe Flacco fierce, furious, fast. I think Xavier McKinney might be sitting on one in the back end. I'll tell you, Green Bay, the offense keeps on rolling behind Jordan Love. He's got 1,000 passing yards on the button, 8 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Josh Jacobs getting those tough yards on the ground. Tucker Kraft, he's been pretty good too. Romeo Doubs, 4 touchdown passes. So he makes the most of his touches. And I'll tell you, I get scared when I see these big point spreads because the NFL has been a one-score affair. However, I like Green Bay to dominate this game. I think they're going to rattle Joe Flacco. Heck, you may even see Jake Browning back in this one if Flacco can't get through it. Give me Green Bay in a big, big way. I like the Pack to romp the Bengals today, 27-10 up there in Lambeau Field. All right, we're moving into our next matchup. It's going to be the Tennessee Titans, 1-4 at the Las Vegas Raiders, 1-4. 2 teams treading in the wrong direction. And the Raiders come in as 3.5-point favorites in this one. Of course, Ashton Genty, 109 scrimmage yards a week ago, aims for his 3rd in a row over the 100 barrier. Geno Smith, he's a problem now. 9 interceptions. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do here. Is it Kenny Pickett on a short leash game here today? It could be, because I'll tell you what, the Titans come into this one with the better quarterback, and you've seen spurts and flashes from Cam Ward. His wide receivers haven't been doing him any favors. Calvin Ridley with a case of the dropsies this season. He's been a subject of potential trade bait. Now, Tennessee was the first team to overcome an 18-point deficit and win with the rookie quarterback since 2019. That speaks to Cam Ward. He said, we asked 2 weeks ago, and he got the job done a week ago, coming out on top. He just shredded the Cardinals in the 4th quarter. I like Cam Ward to keep that momentum going, and I know the Raiders come in as a favorite at home. This is my upset special of the week. I got the Titans going the other way on this one. Give me the Titans 24-20 on the road to take it there in the desert. Oh, we got upset alerts. Woo, baby, circle the wagons. We got the Buffalo Bills 4.5 favored going into Atlanta, coming off the bye week. Will McFadden did a great job, the senior editor, a guest on the show last week. High-scoring affair? It could be 49.5. All right, Buffalo. Listen, their season really doesn't start until the postseason, and they've had a cupcake schedule, right? I question these Buffalo Bills and the toughness and how good they truly are. The Falcons, don't sleep on the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, pound for pound, is probably the best offensive skill player in the NFL, and Michael Penix is holding the fort, riding steady here, riding the tides here at the Jersey Shore. Michael Penix is keeping it steady down there in Atlanta. All right. 4.5 is tough. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons win this one, coming off the bye week. Makes me want to almost switch my pick, but I'm going to stay true to my gut. I'm going to give Buffalo the benefit of the doubt. Don't feel great about it. By the way, Darnell Mooney out for the Falcons this week. I'm going to go Buffalo to cover 26-21. I don't feel great about this game. I think Atlanta may have woke up after that shutout against Carolina a couple weeks ago. This is a dangerous game for the Buffalo Bills, but I'm going to ride with the wagons, 26-21. All right. Woo! Detroit, 4-1. Whew, they are circling the Kansas City Chiefs because I think the Lions smell blood in this affair. And Kansas City, I tell you, man, Patrick Mahomes maximizes the supporting cast over there, doesn't he? Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown, Tyquan Thornton, and Humpty Dumpty himself, starring Xavier Worthy. I mean, this guy's got to be bandaged up, wrapped up. Every time he gets hit, goes down to the ground, you got to hold your breath, bandage him up. I don't know. Xavier Worthy's always questionable. Detroit, on the other hand, they romped last week 37-24 over Cincinnati. They've got the highest scoring offense in the National Football League at 34.8 yards per game. Jared Goff, pretty good touchdown to interception ratio, 12-2. Mahomes, 8-2, not bad. Mahomes with more passing yards. And Mahomes has had to carry this running game. Now, Kareem Hunt, he's been heating up. So Hunt, I think, now has overtaken Pacheco as the lead back there for Kansas City. Chris Jones, you saw him get his feelings hurt this past week, deleting his social media accounts. He eventually took responsibility for that falter against Trevor Lawrence a week ago. Amon-Ra St. Brown, man, this guy's one of the best in the business. Aiden Hutchinson, good to see him back in the saddle with 5 sacks. I don't know. I think Detroit is going to go up early here. I think they're going to go up big. Kansas City might come back later in the game, but I think Detroit dominates this one from start to finish. I got Detroit. They've been averaging 34.8. I got Detroit with the 33-26 victory in Arrowhead, which would drop the Chiefs to 2-4 and put the Lions at 5-1 after that week 1 disappointment. All right, probably the game of the week. The last game on the 4 o'clock docket, the San Francisco 49ers, 4-1, traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are also 4-1. These are two gutsy teams just scrapping and clawing their way through the season. Injuries don't matter. Next man up attitude. You got to love the mentality that both of these teams are playing with through the first third of the season. Now, Brock Purdy out, Mac Jones banged up, but he will start. And Mac Jones has been riding high, completing 66% of his passes, 905 yards, 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Baker Mayfield, he's put himself in the MVP conversation with his performance. Almost 1,300 passing yards, 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. Emeka Egbuka, this is a rising star. 5 touchdowns, are you kidding me? 440 receiving yards, unbelievable performance. Of course, CMC has over 669 scrimmage yards to be exact. That's pretty impressive. Some people had written him off. I'll tell you, this is going to go down to the wire, isn't it? It seems like a field goal affair. The hook, 3.5. Tampa Bay favored at home. But I'm going to go the other way. I'm buying into the return of the Mac Jones, that is. Give me San Francisco 31-28 in a high-scoring affair to get the upset on the road. I can't believe I'm saying that. Mac Jones looking at a big-time payday this offseason. Woo! Imagine that. All right, one more game to cover. We just went around the league with the Nor'easter edition. Denver up 10-6 here in London. 9 minutes left in the first half. But tonight it will be Chicago, 2-2. Ben Devine joined us on the bye week to give us the Chicago Bears update. He did a great job. He said to watch out for these rookies, Luther Burden and Colston Loveland coming out of the bye week. They could have a larger role. Rome Odunze has been pretty good too. 5 of Caleb Williams' 8 touchdowns have gone to Odunze. And I think you could see a shift here from DJ Moore to more Luther Burden. Of course, Cole Kmet, season high, 46 yards 2 weeks ago. He's also a factor in the red zone. But Washington, that was impressive last week. Even with the Chargers down a few bodies, they won that game decisively, 27-10. And Jaden Daniels didn't need time to shake off the rust. He's just back at it again, 664 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season. Deebo Samuel, he's been used in a variety of roles, and he's an X factor on that offense as Terry McLaurin's still out. But in steps the 7th-round pick, Corey Krosky-Merritt. We've been touting him all season, doing pretty damn good for the Commanders there. Man, this is a really competitive game. Whew. I like what Washington did last week. I like them at home. I like the quarterback more in this one. Even without Terry McLaurin, I think the Commanders find a way on the back of Daniels and Merritt, also known as Billy Ball. Give me the Commanders, 28-22, Sunday Night Football. Cover the 4.5. All right. How about that? We got around the league in a half-hour show, and that's because this is going to be an abbreviated edition of the All Access Football Daily Show because of the Nor'easter. I have some travel arrangements. I got to go get my daughter and try to get out in front of this storm. So I appreciate you bearing with us and getting through that. We'll be back at it again tomorrow on Monday. Pending, as long as we have power, there will be a show, and we'll recap the college football, the NFL. We'll get into the Canadian Football League on tomorrow's show. But before you bounce and boogie and enjoy your football Sunday, I do want to tell you about the Halloween pop-up sale over at allaccessfootball.com. You can save 50% off of the All Access Football Annual Pass. 50%. That includes the 2026 NFL Draft Bible. And for a limited time, you see the books behind me. We're going to mail you a copy of Value Picks, the 10-year anniversary of the 2016 NFL Draft, bringing you behind the scenes and inside the war room with over 100 interviews with NFL general managers, front office executives, scouting personnel. We'll throw in the Value Picks. And then courtesy of Canadips, we'll give you a little CBD pouch, courtesy of Canadips.com. So you get the All Access Football membership, the Value Picks, the Draft Bible, the Canadips, all for $20. We got more deals than Crazy Eddie. If you want to support the show, that's how you do it. We appreciate all the love and support. Remember to tune into the All Access Football Daily Show live 7 days a week, 10 a.m. Eastern. It is your home for real football talk. We appreciate all the love and support, the comments. Remember, on your way out the door, if you're tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter X, smash that like button, share it, subscribe it. The YouTube channel is where it's at. We've got all of our interviews throughout the week isolated. We also put all of our short reels up there. We got some really great guests lined up for you as we wrap up our 42nd consecutive edition of the All Access Football Daily Show. We'll be back at it again tomorrow with our 43rd edition. And everybody that's in the tri-state area, on the coast, up and down, north and south, east to west, spread love, stay strong, buckle up, hunker down, stay safe out there, and we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Hey, RIC and a place to be. Ric Serritella checking in from the legendary Jersey Shore for the world famous All Access Football, and you're tuned in to the All Access Football Daily Show, our newest venture here at the world famous All Access Football, read by all 32 NFL teams and 50,000 subscribers from around the world. And I've been blessed and fortunate enough to work in this great game of football for the past 2 decades. It's our 24th season of providing you independent analysis when it comes to the NFL draft and everything pigskin, whether it's the NFL, college football, NFL draft, CFL, UFL. We'll be with you each step of the way, especially for draft season when we really get into high mode. Of course, it's all brought to you by the 2026 NFL Draft Bible, published in April, featuring over 500 in-depth scouting reports with our boots-on-the-ground analysis. We'll be on location at the All-Star Games, the NFL Scouting Combine, the Pro Day circuit, counting you down to that 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh. And be sure you check us out over at allaccessfootball.com. We've got a great promo discount for you listeners at home. If you enter our promo code RIC VIP, you'll get a 30% discount off of all of our premium content. You'll unlock the magic. Get our NFL Draft Insider Reports, Scouting Notebook, of course, the World Football All Access Football Report, published on Wednesday. It's your new home for real football talk. So follow along, give us a shout. We hope you're enjoying the show. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X, please give it a like, a share, a subscribe, and we'll be with you each and every day here, 7 days a week, live, 10 a.m. Eastern, no days off, rain, sleet, hail, snow. The show must go on. For Ric Serritella and the All Access Football Daily Show, keep it locked, everybody.
You are watching All Access Football.